There's enough needless nonsense in the world already. Your phone plan shouldn't add to it. Verizon's new Simplicity plan cuts down on the nonsense.
Grant, what's up, man?
Who's ready for a deal? Now, you can order a footlong in the Subway app and get another for free. That's right, Subway Sub Club members. Free! Get your favorite sub plus one. Subway.
You saw the Odyssey. I saw it the weekend it came out. I thought it was okay. There's a lot of really impressive visual stuff, and the filmmaking, the craft went into it, but I will watch it again, but I certainly won't go to a movie theater to see it again. That will be it'll have to cross my path on some kind of streaming service I've already got. But yeah, it was okay. You did not like the IMAX? I've only ever seen one movie in IMAX. I'm not sure what it was. I want to say it was Interstellar, but I don't think I understood what I was supposed to be getting out of it. Like, it's just a taller screen. I wasn't like, this was a life-changing experience. It was just, yeah, it's a tall screen. Yep. I've had more fun movie adventures and experiences on screens that were just old school, short, regular screens. So I'm like, I don't know that I need to ever throw down that extra cash for an IMAX thing, because who cares? Did see the new Spider-Man last weekend, I think it was, and I enjoyed that a lot, actually. I feel like they crafted a pretty damn entertaining flick.
The all-new Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 8 for $0, you get more screen, more summer, more connection. Get the all-new Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 8 for $0.
You've spent a lifetime opening doors. Now, one opens for you.
Yeah, it's good, especially if you're kind of into the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies anyway. It kind of touches on a lot of, good stuff, and gets into the existing Marvel universe a bit in a way that feels like, all right, I'm into this still a little bit. Yeah, I'm all about a Marvel guy. I mean, but I still like Batman and Superman a lot. It's just been a minute since they've done a really good version. I was not a fan of that last Superman movie. I didn't bother with Supergirl because it looked awful and it bombed off its ass, and so I might try to watch it one of these days if it's on a streaming service I have access to. Why am I picky? Because there's movies I like and I don't like. I'm sure if we sat here and pegged you down to things you like and don't like, we'll run across stuff that you don't like. What's wrong with not liking something? Superman wasn't great. They've already done such better versions of him. I'm of the opinion that Superman is a tough nut to crack because he's a hard character to get right, and he's been done so well already. I appreciate that they tried to do something different, but yeah, I don't need to see new Superman. And movies aren't cheap. I don't want to spend 40 or 50 bucks to go see something that is just awful. Spent about 130. Is that including like not just you, like other people that go with you and snacks and shit? Because I've gone and taken myself, my roommates come with me before, and then my two kids, and then for certain movies especially, I will splurge. Yeah, there you go. Your wife, two kids, 3 popcorns, 3 drinks. Yeah, I've spent that kind of money before. Like I said, I was taking my roommate comes with me, and then my kids. And then, you know, I'm like, sometimes I'm totally fine. Like, I'm going to splurge on this one. So you want a popcorn? You want a big soda? You want a candy or two? Like, you know, we don't do this super often, but I want to make it a adventure for my kids and something that they enjoy. And, Josh Priest, hey man, how are you? 5 kids, leave them at home. Yeah, that would get to be financially like, all right, kids. Maybe if we find like a Tuesday $5 showing thing or something. but I can't afford to take all you kids. I remember, I don't know if they even exist anymore. A big deal for me where I live. I don't know if I can even, if they even are out there anymore, but there used to be like second run theaters where the cost to go see a movie was like $1. And me and my brothers and sisters and a lot of friends would always go to the Dollar Theater. And on occasion, we would, you know, get the opportunity to go see the big cool movie in its original theatrical run, like Independence Day. I remember that was a big one that me and my buddies, like 5 of us, all went to go see Independence Day, or like Batman Forever. But often, especially just to like have something to do in summer months, that Dollar Theater was very useful. And, you know, I do look back on it subsequently, you know, in retrospect, the Dollar Theater, like the theaters were those old school, like it's not the stadium seating, it's just flat seats. So if somebody's a little taller sitting in front of you, you're just out of luck. But for $1, and again, you could just hop in your parents' crap car and zip out to the theater and go check out a thing. I couldn't really complain about the cost. That is funny, Josh, though. I get it. Like, I'm like choking on the cost for just like my 2 boys. Ugh. Yeah, Josh, that actually makes sense when you think about it. Like, they might have shut down because they just couldn't financially afford to stay open. That's probably the situation. I mean, they had popcorn and shit that was not cheap. Like every theater, they make up that difference in their concessions and stuff. They tore down the Dollar Theater I used to go to and turned it into like at least the northern part of the state, like the biggest theater, the biggest IMAX. Like, they turned it from the cheap shit into the most expensive. That's kind of fine because it was still fun. Now there's a really cool place to go to that has all kinds of, you know, the big expensive theater. Mello, holy shit, man, I've been meaning to message you all week. And here we are. I keep forgetting that we talked about doing a live stream together, man, and then I've been on vacation with my kids, and so I'm kind of distracted. Then I think about it here or there. I'm like, just message him. I'm like, all right, I'll do it in a minute. We'll work out something. And then I get distracted or pulled away into something else. And I get tired and distracted, and I'm just all over the place, man. But we do need to do that, Mela. We do need to work that out because,
For crowd-pleasing hair, Sephora's got the rock.
we need to do
What's
that.
your secret?
Grant, you didn't like Terminal, really?
Last all day.
Like one issue and you're done?
Makes my hair so.
I'm just kind of interested because it is a newer thing. And I'm kind of interested to see what they might do with it and where it's going to go. I mean, I'll give a book a couple of pages, or rather, a couple of issues. Mr. Pritchard, Patrick Pierce. I don't know, Grant. I know that comics. I mean, I understand the argument. Like, you got one issue to hook me, and I've talked about often where I'm like, yeah, you had one issue and you didn't do it, so I'm out. But I like the writer. I kind of have enjoyed stuff they've done before. I like the artist lineup. I want to give it a chance and see where it may go. So I'll give it a little bit. She's misprinted lies. Plug away, Grant. Plug away. Hey, Mello, I reviewed, it'll be up probably tomorrow, Saboteur Comics book, that horror book that he did, and I saw you did a pinup in the back, a painting on the inside back cover. I had no idea. I was legitimately surprised when I popped it open. I'm like, holy shit, I know that guy. It's awesome, man. Yeah, I was shocked at how professional it was. Just the execution of it. Oh yeah, here we go. I got it right here. The quality of the design of everything, the feel of the paper, the old school newsprint, and then the yeah, that right there, right? That's just awesome, man. I don't see your name signed on it anywhere, though, Mr. Mello. I mean, it's obviously credited in the front cover. But yeah, that thing is awesome. Like, such a beautifully designed book. And then I'm over here like, hey guys, get my book. It's got a severed dick in a jar. People will be like, okay, Rob. That's your hook. Oh, you sent him the file and it got printed. The signature got. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I didn't sign it in the safe zone.
The real nightmare
I get it.
It's the next day.
Well, still, it's pretty dang awesome.
What makes Dan's land? Blue Buffalo Nugget Steak Grillers with real beef. Or tender jerky with mouth-watering chicken. Bring your dog in on the barbecue fun with real.
Mello, when are you available next as far as live streaming? I'm taking my kids to the zoo tomorrow early in the day, but beyond that, I don't have anything planned specifically. Thanks for stopping in, Grant. The man who stole the world. Mello, you're talking about tomorrow? Because I should have tomorrow afternoon free. Or we could look at a Saturday, maybe? Something?
Garlic love.
When AT&T hands the all-new Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 8 for $0, you get more screen, more summer.
Josh, yeah, you know Tron. Mellow. I mean, I don't have a set itinerary. Like I was saying, I'm taking my kids to the zoo tomorrow. We're not going super early, but I'm gonna imagine we're gonna take off maybe around 10 o'clock. And I'm not sure how long we're gonna be gone. I would imagine I'd be back in time, but I really don't want to promise you that and then have to message you and be like, you know what, things went longer or got delayed, I'm not going to make it in time. I don't want to put you off like that. But yeah, Josh Priest, you know Tron when you hear it. You know, I wasn't a huge fan of that second Tron sequel when it come out, and I'm still honestly not a huge fan of it, but and I'm not even a fan of Daft Punk. I never ever understood the appeal. I don't get it. But there are some tracks in that score that are legitimately awesome. I'm like, all right, some of this stuff is really cool. Yeah, Mr. Pritchard, you should subscribe to Mr. Mel. His work is just... And also, Mello, your art space, dude, you posted up your workspace. I am jealous, my dude. My area is a mess. And a lot of that is, not exclusively, but a lot, is because it's I've just got this one little room that I'm in. I don't have a very big room. And then whenever I try to organize it, I end up like cleaning up a corner of it. But then as I dig it out, I end up enhancing messes in other areas that I have to keep working on. And I'm buried under comic books in here. It's just not a big enough space, but it's literally the only thing I'm going to have for the foreseeable future. Yeah, they wasted the sequel. I mean, here's my opinion on a simple thing that they could do in sequels that, by God, they almost never do. Like, for me, in the original Tron, some of the most interesting stuff that I remember about it are the sounds and some of the musical cues. And they just left all of that stuff out completely. I'm like, throw something that makes us think like it's got a similar vibe. You know, every Star Trek movie has that Star Trek theme in it somewhere, that da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. You're like, but they don't put any of the music. And again, I know it's a dumb thing to worry or think about, but like in Tron, the first one, those big machines, the recognizers, is that what they look called? They look like a big M. I love the sound that those things made in the first movie, that deep rumbling kind of electronic sound. And they just left it out. And that's so stupid. I know that doesn't matter, but it's just a simple thing that connects it and makes it feel like it's the same world. But yeah, the movie was so visually beautiful, but God, is it empty inside? Yeah. I thought the disc weapons that they had that Tron would fight with, like all of them, but the glowing disc, it was almost like a lightsaber you threw in a way. And now they're just like little miniature hula hoop things. Like I didn't like any of the visual aesthetic that they did. I just feel like they missed the point so bad. But of course, I'm just here talking about visual things. Yeah, they try to modernize that sound. I still, to this day, think, Geronimo, what's up? That the I gotta change that song. I'm sick of it. Like the light cycle scene in the original Tron, like CGI wise, comparatively, it looks like cheap animatic, but they edited that together so well. That light cycle chase was so good. And then it's like, I love the light cycles where they have the whole like shell over the entire body. I just thought the design of the original light cycles was a million times better. And now they're just like open top motorcycles. Again, this is like just visual aesthetic that doesn't really matter. It's kind of like character and story that should come first before all of this. But these are just things that immediately put me off. I'm like, come on, guys. Make it sound like the thing we know. Yeah, just some kind of connection like Star Trek, for example. Again, you can change the musical score with every movie, but you got to have some kind of connective tissue that makes it feel like this is what this was before. I was chatting up with some folks the other night talking about another like incredibly wasted opportunity was when Disney a couple years ago decided to make that Willow TV show. And like Willow, it was never the biggest movie on anybody's radar, but it was kind of like this cute, fun show that a bunch of us from a certain era remember. And we're like, oh, that was fun. And then they're going to continue it. Okay, you get Warwick Davis back. Hell yeah. You've got this amazing opportunity with a bit of a built-in audience that wants this nostalgia. And then they could not have made a worse TV show if they shit on a napkin and sat it in front of the camera and just told you to look at it. Like, it's like the worst TV show I've ever seen. Limitations are a blessing to art. You know, bringing it back to Star Trek, limitations have helped Star Trek, for example, multiple times. I remember listening to the commentaries on most of the original movies, and they're like, we didn't have the budget that we wanted, so we had to get creative. If we don't have the budget to do the visuals that we want, we better write compelling characters and a compelling story and operate within that framework. And for the most part, they killed it. Like, I like all the Star Trek movies. I understand, like, some of them are not as good as others. Some of them have big problems for various reasons. But, yeah, I don't need that.
Introducing Foundeo.
But yeah, that Willow TV show. Like, one of the things, I know I keep bringing it back to music. I'm big on instrumental scores in movies. But the Willow soundtrack, the score, I can't remember who did it, but it had such a magical, incredible whimsical sound to it. And that's the soul of the movie, is the music. And they didn't even attempt to have it remotely close to what the movie had. And now, if there were like legal reasons that they couldn't get the original score, I guess that's one thing. But I honestly think that they just didn't even try. Like, you don't even bring back the theme. It's like you guys missed the point so hard. And now no one will ever want to watch it again. There's no rebooting Willow ever again. Yeah, Josh Priest. That's why Next Generation was so awesome. Yeah, they didn't have much of a budget. I mean, they had a better budget and effects and stuff than the original show. But yeah, they could not do big scale stuff like today. A TV show can kind of do feature level effects in a TV show, but not Next Generation. You know, they had good stuff, but so they're like, well, we better write a story that's about something. And again, write characters that you care about. And then, you know, they'll save their budget. They do those bottle shows where everything's kind of contained in existing sets and it's just a character-driven piece. So then they could save budget for the big episode where there's lots of explosions and aliens and special effects and stuff. And so it becomes special when they do the big thing. But when you kind of have unlimited special effects and almost an unlimited budget, then it's like, we'll just make a big visual spectacle. Like, no, how about you write something interesting? Yeah, Geronimo, limits incentivize creativity. Oh yeah, Mello with the Dark Crystal TV show. I only watched like one episode of the, cause yeah, Dark Crystal, Jim Henson. Like, what a weird show. What a weird vibe. Love it. You know, it's kind of like the never-ending story. It's those child movies, those movies made for children that were so dark. In retrospect, you're like, I don't know if kids should watch this. But man, it was one of my most favorite things. Yeah, Dark Crystal, dark and creepy. The Gartham, those giant cockroach monsters, those were freaky. The Skeksis, the way that they sucked the life out of the pod people. Oh my gosh, it was so like scary, and I love that Jim Henson leaned into it. Like, I feel like kids need to see dark stories that are balanced like that. You know, I think it's an important part of kind of development. It can't all be like Teletubbies and Barney, you know. It's all about the right age level, but man, did I love that stuff. It was nightmare fuel. It was so awesome. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I'm a big Star Trek guy, and man, do I hate everything that they've done with it. It's not for me. And I'm like, you guys have got this incredible property. Why can we not get it right? Concrete, what's up? For me, Star Trek stopped being incredible as soon as Deep Space Nine was over. That was my jam. I was all about Next Generation, and then Deep Space Nine eventually gave me everything I wanted out of a Star Trek show. And I've been looking for that ever since. Voyager was okay sometimes, but it kind of felt like they were lost and just didn't know what they were doing. Just like the concept of the show. Yeah, Josh. Yeah, Willow, they just completely scrubbed it from the app. Like, you can't see it anywhere. Yeah. And I remember the actors kind of being upset. It's like, we could get some residuals off that. And Disney was like, yeah, it sucks to be you guys. Geronimo, I live in northern Utah. I mean, I'm not hurt because Willow is terrible, but I kind of want to direct people towards it so they can see just how bad it was. I remember watching it with my roommate, and she's sitting over there kind of going like, this is kind of terrible. Like, are they sure this is supposed to be Willow? Do you remember what that movie was like? I'm like, yeah, no, let's turn on Willow. That's a good show. This TV show. And even they got the character wrong. I wonder if Warwick Davis is like, he's like, oh my God, they're going to make a show. This is like that one thing that was like a big deal back in the day that was mine. And then he signs on, and then he's like, what is this shit that they're doing? What are these stories that they're giving me? But you can't, what do? You just have to, you got to do it, right? Kind of hope that maybe it ends up not being as horrible as it reads on paper. And then you're like, well, I'm stuck. And I was saying, I've got a friend who's a little person. He's an actor that lives in the same state here. And he tried to get in on that show. I guess he kind of knows on some level Warwick Davis's daughter, who was in the show. And he tried to get cast in it. It was like a dream of his because, he grew up as a little person loving that movie, and then he missed it. He didn't get it. He didn't get cast for it, and then he later was like, maybe I got lucky. Maybe it was a blessing in disguise that I didn't get it. Geronimo, yeah, I live in northern Utah. Yeah, he dodged a bullet. Yeah, my friend, he's been trying so hard. He just wants to be an actor. He's been trying his entire life, but it's not easy in general. And then, I mean, being a little person, I imagine it's harder because there's only so many roles that they're gonna throw to you for that. Damn Peter Dinklage, straight to tiny hell. Yeah, that seemed like a really dumb move on his part. You know, because one, he's like, oh, they're going to cast dwarves. They're going to make it little people. Like, this is a fantasy story. It's not based on real life. So this is a moment when it actually makes sense. And you cost a bunch of folks that job, and they put in these CGI monstrosities. Any of you guys ever actually watched that Snow White movie? I got about halfway through it. I'm like, I can't. I wanted just to see the steaming train wreck that it was, and you know, a lot of it got lumped on Rachel Zegler, and I'm not necessarily a fan of her, but it wasn't like her fault in terms of her performance in the movie. She can sing for sure, and she's, you know, she's pretty and she can act, but everything else around it was terrible. Geronimo, you snuck into IMAX? You voluntarily snuck into an IMAX to watch Snow White. Latik, man, what's up, dude? You're way more generous, as usual, than you'll ever need to be. But I am forever grateful, Latik, man. Thank you, dude. Thank you so much. Yeah, Josh Priest, actors and stunt personnel. That's a lot. That's a lot of lost job opportunities. Because Josh, you, I saw you. You mentioned somewhere that you've been. You're an actor, right? You've been in some movies in some capacity, so you know, right?
Make your world more listen. Who's ready to see some stadium-stopping hair? Your hair is
Geronimo, you have to be able to shit on it knowledgeably. You know what? That's fair. You put it like that. Yeah, filming a TV show now. The Austin, Texas area is starting to come back. Well, that's awesome, man. Got a bona fide actor who's been in movies and TV chatting me up, of all people. Been fortunate to run into some creative folks of all types. Like y'all know, I know Danny Bedrosian, the musician for Parliament Funkadelic. I'm fortunate enough to call him friend. And found him through the channel. He found me. LA is a ghost town now, too expensive to shoot. I mean, that's what everyone says. You know, just, I mean, but it also sounds like that's just California in general. Insane taxes and people fleeing there for financial reasons. So unless you're like exponentially well off. You try to audition for the new Trek, but it's always in Canada. You're like, it's a ways away. I'm really not sure what I'm going to do with the background. Like, I've got the heavily shadowed superhero guy here doing his laser blast, vaporizing the villain down to a skeleton in front of him. But I don't want to leave the background just blank, so I want to do some energy type effect. I'm not sure how I'm going to pull that off.
You won't want to miss this right helps a good validation by Newsom. Turns out it's science. Everything focus off the light goes through.
Well, I've kind of got these like energy bubbles from his blast. I was kind of thinking of like fucking commercials on this YouTube app. When in doubt, yeah, I did kind of think about that, but I've got these energy bubbles I was kind of thinking the way Havoc, his powers are portrayed with like the circles in a line, but instead of doing like that, just having like these energy bubbles cascading off from his energy blast itself. So Black Dot Kirby Crackles might not, it might, I don't know. I don't know if that would work with some other circular patterns already. But yeah, Kirby Crackle looks great. It's fun. It's fun to do. It's hard to pull off exactly correct, but I also kind of just like the point that I'm going for. What I want to do is have some kind of, the lighting. I want his energy blast to be like pure white. So I mean, this character, he's like literally the second character I ever created ever in my life as a kid. And I've talked about this, how I have nothing to say about my original characters, but I decided just to throw them in kind of a supporting role in this one book, just so my own creations have an opportunity to exist in a book for just a minute. But this character, his outfit is just pure white spandex. You know, white spandex outfit, white cape, white mask. And so I want this energy blast of his to be this blinding white light. So hence I cast him in intense shadow. So I want kind of a gray tone, like a zipatone-ish kind of thing in the background. And the only way I can kind of pull that off is to do some dry brush effect or get out a pen and a ruler and start doing some like cross-hatching lines. It would be very labor intensive. But I need a gray tone to balance out against the pure white energy blast and the stark black shadow to get the effect that I want. Keep it light. The rim light on the character is reflecting off the energy. I mean, yeah, he's, that's the edge lighting is because of his blast. But I want kind of a mid-tone around it because I want to emphasize the energy blast in pure white. So I'll probably just have to take a time one of these days and just commit to like, I'm going to sit down and I'm just going to start doing some texturing, cross-hatching on it, and like I have an idea of what I want to do, and I bet it could work. But again, if I worked digitally, I could honestly probably hand it off to someone that I know who does digital. They could probably throw something in the background there, but mama don't raise no hypocrites. I gotta do this shit on my own. I gotta stipple and slug that shit like you said, right? For those of you who watch the Kayfabe channel, I remember kind of picking up on this kind of idea when Piscore would talk about using the white of the paper as a color. And so he'd take and put a tone over everything, and even the white paper around the edges, he'd throw kind of like a faded, ugly yellow, like newsprint paper haze over it, but then leave like a certain segment just the pure white paper, and then it almost looked like it glowed. Just the white paper became an effect and a color, and I was like, holy crap, is he right? That works really well. So I've been kind of looking for an opportunity to try something like that. So it might be something along those lines.
SafeLight has fix now, pay later. We'll fix it wherever you want, and you can pay over time.
Who's ready for a deal? Now, you can order a footlong in the Subway app and get another for free. That's right, Subway's.
Oh, hey, Panda. Yeah, well, I was just talking about my uncertainty on how to kind of finish that panel. We were just chit-chatting back and forth about what I think I'm going to do and how I'm going to try and pull it off. But the main figure and the blast, that's kind of what I had in mind, and it's working well enough that I'm not, I'm not going, ugh, I blew it. I'm never overly thrilled with my work usually, but I think it's kind of working. Yeah, thanks. Like I was saying, like this character, his outfit is just a pure white costume. Like, where is he at? Yeah, here we go. Like it's this guy here. Because this is like the cybernetic super soldier, and this guy's like the spandex wearing superhero. It's just a white spandex outfit and a cape. And then he gets so disturbed because of this character who had his heart ripped out of his chest in earlier pages, but then his heart is coming back into his body, and we're realizing that he's some kind of immortal, inhuman, evil monster. That this hero, he's so disturbed, he's the hero that never kills anybody or anything, but he sees this like undead monster coming back to life, like his heart going back into his body, that he throws out this intense energy bolt to vaporize him to powder. So again, I'm trying to emphasize that laser blast and the hard black shadows on it. That's what I'm going for. But then, of course, and on the next page, they're gonna be they're kind of sitting and like, holy shit, did you just vaporize that guy? But then there's gonna be a giant blast of energy in the distance, and the guy who's just got vaporized, the guy whose heart was going back into his chest, he's gonna reform as a giant ghostly apparition face, screaming at them, emphasizing the fact that this guy cannot die. He's immortal. Even if he's vaporized to atoms, he still lives. And then this bottom panel is an explosion of energy that envelops all of these characters. And what it ends up doing is turning them all immortal too. And then the story jumps to like 5,000 years in the future, where they're all still alive, and 3 of them are trying to track down one of the others. So they fight an immortal demon god, and the outcome of it is that they become immortal themselves, and now they have to deal with the prospect of living forever. Did I use that white pen and eraser trick you found out about back to overlay the white over those energy lines? Which page are you talking about? Because I haven't done any of that here. I did use that white pen. Oh yeah, I think you're talking about here, right? That's exactly what I did, if this is what you're referring to. Hi, Bubba. What's up?
I am sorry to interrupt y'all.
What's up?
I have just barely realized that My City Monsters has an update, and I am completely going insane.
Okay. Thanks for
But
stopping in, my son.
But I mainly came here to yoink some paper,
Go ahead.
because I'm going to create a Wave 8 for Paranormal Carnival, and also job application.
My son.
Wait, I need a pencil.
Here, hold on. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, I kind of like the glowing heart as it goes back into his chest. I enhanced it with the white paint, but then yeah, I kind of did the blast lines energizing towards the center of his chest, and then I came back with the white pen over it. And I mean, it's one of those things where as I did it, I was like, oh, that's kind of looking exactly like I wanted. I was actually kind of surprised. And then there's little bits and pieces all over this top drawing where I did some cleanup and enhancement. You know, there's some lines there. But yeah, that little white gel pen trick, when you get that paint or the ink flowing out of that gel pen, it becomes a very useful tool. But yeah, that's what I did there. It was kind of a fun effect. I was like, oh, that kind of did just what I wanted it to do. I also use it right here on the metal of the guy's arm, with like I don't know what you call them, these the classic way that comic artists do robotic arms with these black lines going across it like segments to let the metal arm move. But then you add the white lines to it, and suddenly it kind of, to my eye, gives it a more reflective metallic look. So I added that in there. Thanks for stopping in, Mello. Thank you, thank you.
Sorry to bother you again. I just feel like this room has more sense for me to draw this monster. What about?
So what are you gonna do?
I just need
Lower my son's doing. Yeah, the gel pen thing. Yeah, it suddenly made those tools go from sort of useful to suddenly they're like extremely useful. Mr. Josh Priest, thank you for stopping in, man. I appreciate it very much. Thank you, sir. Do you have enough light over there, my son?
Yeah, I'm starting to get the base design of the monster. I'm kind of making it look like tall and like, and when it's the other version of it, it's like small.
Okay. It's funny. Mike Hawk is leaving the building. Mike Hawk. He says. Yeah, Panda, it's the score to the second season of the reimagined Battlestar Galactica. And that track is one of the best tracks. Commercials. I got into movie soundtracks in like a major way when I was younger. And I kind of discovered who like James Horner was. He did the music to the first Aliens movie. He did the Star Trek 2 and 3, and I was so into those movies, and I loved the music, and so I was picking up the soundtracks, and I would collect. There was a time when I was younger, I'd buy every instrumental score to every movie that I liked, but eventually I started realizing that like not all movie scores are the same, and a lot of these suck. I'm like, how come some of these other movie scores are so great and some of these other ones are terrible?
Is there if I can borrow an eraser really quick? I finished the first design of it, and once I'm done, I'll show all of y'all.
Yep. And then the reimagined Battlestar Galactica comes along, and suddenly there was a score, and it was out to a TV show. It was like the most epic thing I've ever heard. So I bought up every CD of every season, and I forget his name. Bear McCreary. Such incredible musical score work that he did on Galactica. Some of the best stuff I've ever heard. And like not much else he's done since then has ever even come close. It's another one of those things where it's like, well, he knew exactly what he was doing on that show. I'm not sure if he did The Walking Dead. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't know. Have I heard the new Death Stalker song? No. I don't even know what a Death Stalker. What is Death Stalker? Is that a band? Is it a group? Is it a video game? Just over here embarrassing myself by how uncultured and uncool I am.
That's a really good drawing there.
A movie. Oh, all right. See, what? I don't know shit. Okay, my little stinker son has a drawing he just did. He wants to share.
But I'll let Dad finish his
No, I'm fine.
little painting thing.
It's fine.
Alright,
it's-
so it's the wave 4 of the Paranormal Carnival Monster for My City Monsters, if you guys even know what that is. Basically, game. Some of you guys probably know. So this is the Mimicker. So as you see, this is the major form of him. As you see, he's smiling and happy. He's kind of like a jester, like smiling, happy along. He plays like organ and steam instruments. As you see, that's his bottom half, the minor version. But he flips upside down to go into his different forms. He cheers people up with his autistic ways. He's not really autistic, I just don't know why I said it like that. But when he plays the steams, it feels like a rhythmic, like a type of boat kind of way. So it brings the joy of monsters having a nice day. Like they're at the beach and they hear the wind going through. That's what the horns sound like. But if you flip the paper around,
Oh my
you
goodness.
meet the other version of Mimicker.
What is this?
It's his sad version. He's not very happy. He doesn't bring joy to anyone. He brings tears to their eyes.
Reminds me of me.
Every time he makes a melody, it sounds broken and distorted in a type of way. As you see, the instruments have grown through him. And the top part, where the happy one was, broken off. So in order for the body to figure out a way, it grew extra steam pipe horns, so it had a hard time trying to play the instruments. As you see, he can't barely move, but as you see on the other side, he had legs to move around. But now he just kind of have to like move very slightly, so he can only move like a couple inches because he's so heavy of all the metal. And like he's not very happy with the amount of instruments of steam that are going on him, because like, and this is the minor version, like on the opposite Paranormal Carnival Island, if you guys know what I'm talking about. But on the first one he brings happiness, but on this one he brings sadness.
What's his power level? Is it like 100 million, like Leo had a character that was 100 million power?
Oh, this thing has the power to bring joy or sadness.
Oh, it's not a number. It's just joy or sadness. I like that.
Yeah, it basically depends on what he's feeling. When he feels happy, he'll switch to his happy way. But when he feels sad, and also I customized the masks, detailed. But when he's sad, he'll flip upside down to go into his sad body. As you see, he really doesn't know what to do, and he's scared, so he panics and plays this type of sad tune.
Oh.
But yeah, that's what I thought.
It's
Y'all-
a sad monster. Yeah, the guy's like, a sad mimic. That's funny, my son. You have some silly characters. I love it.
But yeah, red. I shall disappear into existence. Yeah.
All right, my son. Thank you. Oh, my goofy little boy. I love it.
I just need you.
Clorox Sentiva. Cleans like Clorox. Smells like cherry blossom.
Do kids want to grow tall to reach the pros? Or to reach Elise's?
I'm a sad mimic. God, I'm having an idea about how to put this gray tone on the background. I'm sitting here trying to think if I could make it work. It will require me, make sure this ink is dry. To mask off. This little post-it note masking off system that I picked up from watching Jim Lee is extremely useful. Oh, Panda. Sorry, I just covered up the smoke clearing in the distance from his blast. Yeah, I was kind of doing like a painterly kind of effect with the inking. I was doing some dry brush and some dabbing and some stuff, trying to give it a atmospheric kind of look. Thank you for noticing. Appreciate that. But now I'm covering it up. I have an idea. Let's see if I can make it. I've kind of done something similar to this on one of my He-Man pages that I did. Byron, what's going on, man? Yeah, I'm on vacation. I've been off since last Friday. I don't go back until next Monday. It's going by way too fast.
So, quick note, my brother suggested a better name for my monster, the Sing Song, and it actually makes a lot more sense, actually.
You like that name for your monster?
Yes.
I like it.
But yeah, also guys, my brother created a weapon that, it's kind of like an AK sniper rifle, and just letting you know, you'll find it on the Ultra Kale wiki, and if you find it, please be nice to him. He got some really bad comments lately. I was not happy about that.
What? What is he posting on that people are talking about? What?
Deal with it, Leo. It's like an AK sniper. But yeah, I just thought I might let you know. I love you, Father.
Love you, son.
Correction, the gun wiki.
I haven't spent a lot of time doing art outside of the normal amount of time that I do. Because I've got my kids with me. This is the weekend or the week that I use to spend time with my kids. And so we've been doing some stuff. I'm not using the vacation time to like I should because I've got 4 more weeks I have to take off before the middle of December. So I should take all that time and just like dedicate it to like just sit down and get shit finished. We'll see how that goes. But at this point, oh, Panda, your company got purchased and time off is not going to be what it used to be. That sucks, man. Don, what's up, dude? Kind of sucks that, I mean, if you have time off that you've earned, you should be able to have it. They shouldn't be able to, you know, be like, nope, you don't get it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a dry brush effect and go across the background elements of this page, and then I'll have to come back in with white paint and paint out the energy kind of bolt effects and the circles to make them white again. But I've done this before. I kind of, like I said, I don't want to, I don't know, I'm worried about screwing up the page. But to get the effect that I kind of want, like I know what I want. Probably not even showing. How's that for a gray tone-ish effect? Again, I'm gonna have to go back with whiteout to fix all these things I'm covering up. But I can do that. I guess we'll see if it works out in the end, Byron. Like I said, I've done it before. It's been a minute. Fuck. It's almost like painting with ink. Okay. Now I gotta switch these Post-it notes around. Panda, that is 1 billion times smarter than how I do energy lines. Well, there are different types of energy lines, like drawn with a ruler and by hand. Like that gives you an effect that is very specific, and this is more of an atmospheric effect than an energy effect in a way, if that makes any sense, at least kind of to what I'm sort of going for. But remember, like I was saying, I wanted that white energy blast of his to be like the effect. So that's why I want that gray tone. See how it kind of halfway gives that energy blast, the bright white vaporizing look? So now I got to do the same thing kind of under here. So kind of tricky, icky. But it does also kind of give like a blast line effect too. It is sort of similar to that as well. If you kind of get your strokes all go in the same direction. If you got a strong erection and you stroke it the right way, you end up happy, right, fellas, right? With that whiteout cutting in what you want to have the light of the blast, I'm sure it's going to have Jack Kirby proud. I hope so. That's why you love my live stream. Sometimes you bust out a technique that I never would have crossed my mind. Battle Beast is still good. Yes, it is. Battle Beast is great. Is the new issue out yet? I feel like it's a little bit too soon for a new issue to be out. I think there's one more to go until it's on hiatus again for a bit. A stroke to the east, a stroke to the west, a stroke to the girl that I love best. Well, yeah, Panda, I appreciate that. Like I said, we all get out here and we kind of try different things, and if we're lucky, so let's keep going here. Gotta get the brush in some ink. But then you gotta brush off the excess ink. Then I need my little board to give me a... God, I screwed up. I shouldn't have had that paper go across there. Now I'm gonna have a hard deadline. I'm gonna have to kind of work into the... But yeah, it does give a blast line effect if you kind of are looking for that. That's the thing, Panda. I gotta say, like, I'm not like a... These are things that I just kind of stumbled across, and sometimes it does better effect than I ever intended to do. Sometimes it gives me a worse effect than I ever thought that I would. I'm like, well, that I just ruined everything.
Cat and Jack style.
I've certainly had that happen, so...
Only at Target.
Going once. Going twice.
I have learned that sometimes you just got to be fearless, I guess, and just try a thing. Let's Well, thanks, Byron. I really appreciate that. That's very kind of you to say. It's one of those things where I could have just screwed up everything, but all right. I think it's kind of doing what I want it to do. Yeah, you love the heavier spots. It's what we call work consistently inconsistent. Yeah, like the heavier black spots. Like it's kind of one of those things, kind of like painting with the brush, where some random stuff just happens that you kind of don't have exact control over, but it does something you weren't expecting. You end up liking. Well, I appreciate that, Byron, a lot. It's very kind of you. All right, let's pull this off of here. I'm gonna have to give a point back there. But you see, once I come back in here and paint out all the bubbles and stuff, you see how that, see that's kind of what I was going for. See how that energy blast suddenly looks super intense? I was sitting around here kind of like, I know what I want to do, and I was talking about doing like getting a pen and a ruler, and I was going to go and do some like cross-hatching with a pen and a ruler in very precise lines that would have taken forever, but the Jim Lee technique is the yellow Post-it notes to block out things. This brush thing, I mean, I'm not for a moment pretending like I stumbled upon it, but I didn't have anybody teach this to me. I just played around. Like, let me show you in my He-Man fan comic. Ow. I did the same kind of effect here. Yeah, there we go. See this page right here? It's where She-Ra gets caught in a blast from the demon Skeletor, and she gets her leg and her arm burned. And so I did the same kind of like bright white laser blast from him. And that brushwork in the background was doing the exact same kind of thing. I just masked it off and then just started throwing that brush down. And I had never tried it before, but I was like, that actually kind of worked. It looks better on the original too. The printed page with those gray tones always loses a percentage, and it's not quite the same. But that's the first time I tried that. But it really makes that energy blast. No, my plan is, in fact, I was about to go get a cup of clean water. I was going to come back in with the little bubble orbs and with paint, make them white again. But there's a part of me that's kind of like, is throwing paint on top of it going to screw it up? You know, I don't know. Let me pull off these guys. You can see again how the masking off just with Post-it notes just makes it so much easier. You're not worried about busting into your borders and panels there. Boom, 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 boom. I have also before, once I have some white spots left, I will use Photoshop and use a tool to kind of go in and do like add a little bit of a glow effect, a little bit around some spots. God, I mean, I just put away that book, but where's an example of what I was talking about? Like, see right here where She-Ra is like leaping up at the demon monster's face, and I used Photoshop to give it kind of like a faded glow with her sword bursting around his face. I did that there. So I do a little bit of effects after to give it, you know, some extra oomph in places. Oh yeah, like that right there, that glowing shot, this obelisk with the sword on it. I gave it kind of a glowing effect there. Titties. Oh, you like the way that looked, Adam? Thanks, man. Trying to think of some other places. I'm kind of nostalgic for my He-Man fan comic. Like, I kind of want to go back into that world. I've got more stories to tell. I literally wrote it to its end, but I keep coming up with like a more definitive end that's actually more dark and scary and nihilistic. And I have more. I want to jump back into my He-Man fan comic world. It's on my to-do list, but first things first. This is the final volume. This is book 6 I'm flipping through. Jerry, what's up? Yeah, hold on. I gotta go get a cup of clean water so I can have something for my white paint, because I've got a cup of water that I've been dipping my ink brush in, so I don't want to be dipping into that. Give me just 2 seconds. Okay. You know what's crazy about acrylic paint, which is how long it lasts? It seems to never die. I can't tell you how long I've had these bottles. I've got like 3 bottles like this of white paint, and they just never, ever run out. Or they never dry up, obviously, if you keep them capped. But this paint in this bottle is years and years old, and it's still swishing around in there like a champ. It's crazy. Let's throw some paint in my little paint holder off to the side so I can dip into it. I gotta find some bullshit brush to use. Nope, not that one. So water-based will stay wet forever, but oil-based actually dries out, even if it's sealed. I don't know these things. I'm asking legitimate questions. I don't know these things. Oh, interesting. Didn't know that. All right. I so rarely do this type of stuff where I'm like dry brushing effects and then using white paint for after effects. It's fun. Let's see what happens here. I'm gonna have to do multiple coats on this to make sure it's pure white, because sometimes acrylic paint leaves kind of a an interesting hue after the fact. Oil base will dry out even if it's sealed. I didn't know that. That's learning here. Learning. You gotta respect the condom. Shut the fuck up. Sorry. Had a old Adam Sandler like audio comedy skit pop into my brain just then. Anybody ever listen to those?
Make your world more fabuloso.
Wide out your circles, but the bottom circles you would leave alone. What do you mean? Which bottom one? Like under here? You would leave them alone? But do these ones up top? Well, just whip out your cock and balls for mama. Just whip out that old hog. I remember listening to those when I was so much younger. I'm like, this is funny. Are you allowed to say this shit? But you've got some balls and some cock. Oh, that wouldn't make sense to anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about. Panda used to oil paint back in the day, and some paints will almost completely solidify in the tube if it's not used up. Yeah, because oil paints are expensive. Yeah. That would be frustrating. You know, I think when I get this page in Photoshop, I might have to come in and actually do these circles with kind of an effect. I'm very upset, Mama. So you want to whip out its cock and balls. I love Toll Booth Willie. I would recite that thing forever. The state charges $1.25. $1.25? Isn't that the same price your mother charges for a blowjob, you piece of dog shit? Oh, have another one, you fucking lush. I'm coming out of the booth. Oh my God, you ran over Toll Booth Willie. Oh my God. I always wondered what it would be like to run over a dried up, stinky dick licker. He's like, you son of a bitch, I hear what you're saying. Come to the hospital. Oh man. The state charges. Joshua Preacher back. What's up? You were feeding AI Rob Liefeld your videos and told him to look you up, and boy is he chippy. Oh man, that's fun. Yeah, that Adam Sandler stuff, those skits. Yeah, they're so stupid, but they're also endlessly, hilariously entertaining. Because they're stupid. Josh Priest, like 7 paragraphs. Definitely gonna have to bust out the gel pen too. It's gonna take multiple passes of multiple different tools to get this thing kind of back to what it's supposed to be. Lines. I should probably just erase them. Left some of them. Where's my white jelly roller? Jelly roll. Let's get some jelly roll oozing out this thing. Yeah, look at that thick white ink coming out of that. Hell yeah.
That's the Lunchables effect.
Who's ready to see some stadium-stopping hair?
Your hair is amazing. Tell us, what's your secret?
I use the Cover Fair leave-in conditioner.
I swear by the K18 hair mask.
For crowd-pleasing hair, Sephora's got the...
Unpaid editors, we're all unpaid. Yeah, I get that rim lighting around the other side of him going back there. Yeah, that's what I want. It's a good rim job, right, guys? You haven't read my He-Man fan comics? Oh, traitor. No, I actually do get it, though. It's not like it's, you know, it's like 6 giant graphic novels, so it's not like it's a quick read. But I do, you know, I'm always interested in people's kind of thoughts on the story. You know, not that I think it's brilliant or anything, but like, does the story as I kind of have it go to the ending and the emotional payoffs I try to have, do they work? I'm always looking for anybody's opinion. Like, I know it's not perfect. I'm not suggesting that at all, but always looking for any kind of opinions or feedback. But even my friend Jessica, for those of you who remember her, we used to live stream all the time together, and just, she's got 4 kids, and she's going to school to become a teacher. She just kind of can't do it like she used to, but she was like my little ride or die kind of art homie and was there with me through the whole creation process, and she still hasn't even read them. I'm like, you know, kind of makes me feel like you don't love me. And she's like, oh, shut up.
Smile for the camera.
Are you getting my real cheese side?
Cue the hand. Yes.
With no artificial colors or flavors, reach for Zach that Smiles Pack Gold.
AI Rob Liefeld, always coming for somebody who's never had to put their own name on a million-selling book and then watch the entire industry chase the energy they just dropped. Get it straight. That sounds like what Liefeld would say. That is him. And I'm not going to deny it. He's right to a big degree. I'll put my name on shit. I just need the frickin' opportunity, you know? He just got real lucky at a young age and he thinks he's a genius. You had to silence the notifications. I've heard enough. Fake AI Liefeld. You know, Josh, that could actually be an internet thing. If you kind of like took AI Liefeld and somehow just made a whole thing where it's just fake AI him bitching about shit, I bet people would tune in. I would. That could be your like big money making YouTube idea. "11 paragraphs, man." That's funny, man.
I smell pennies.
Right, stabby, stabby. Show him the toy I let you play with.
It was sharpened to be dull. Okay, so that's why I'm allowed to play
It
with
was sharpened to be dull. Yeah, it's barely. This would even cut butter. But I let my son play with a butterfly knife.
But yeah, I smell your pennies.
You smell it. My goof son. My goofy, goofy son. I would not last long in the streets of 80s Detroit. I'm not denying that. Boy, this whole background took on a whole life of its own, but it kind of got what I wanted out of it. Hey, I'm sitting here with the camera in between my paper, and there's not a lot of room to swing it around. I ain't trying to break shit. I can flick that thing actually pretty well. But I would still die a horrible death.
Find the right thing so you can do your thing. It's back to school at Target.
We were headed on a road trip for the long weekend, so I ran to my local Target because I heard the
JOM, what's up?
with a very neat snack.
That's crazy, Byron. That'd be a hard life to have to live. But now it's a show for somebody to watch. I mean, gotta turn that horribleness into something, right? Thanks, JOM. Yeah, I was talking about wanting to do this effect where the energy blast is a very bright white beam and the figure shooting it is this heavy dark shadow and then like a gray tone in the mid-range to really make that bright white energy blast pop. And I wasn't sure how I was going to do it, but then I'm like, you know what? I have an idea. Let's go. And I just started doing it, and here we are. This is what I come up with. And I don't hate it. But it did kind of burn out all my energy to ink. Holy shit, I didn't even realize. I normally kind of go 2 hours, and I thought I was at an hour. No wonder I'm kind of like burned out of energy. We have reached what is normally the end of my... what I'm gonna do. So yeah, I'm gonna call it a night, fellas. But it was fun getting that out there. That was a fun effect to attempt. Well, yeah, thanks, guys. Byron, JOM, Panda, anybody else who's still maybe listening in. Appreciate it, guys.